Hi everyone, this is East Coast Haunt back to back, baby. I'm MK.
And I am Sam.
And we're nice and warmed up from our little HH Holmes
and literally warmed
episode.
Up because I also turned off the AC, so now it's nice and warm in here.
Very, very good. I'm glad. I'm very
So we just finished the HH Holmes episode. This episode, I do not know what it's about. I'm so nervous and excited to find out.
I'm the star of the show today,
yes.
ladies and gentlemen. This is an MK episode. And
what could it be?
This
is killing me.
I have to find my notes. Hold on. So, for an MK episode, what better state to center us in than the lovely state, the armpit of the United States? New Jersey.
New Jersey.
It had to be a New Jersey
It
haunt.
had to be.
It always has to be a New Jersey haunt because at the very core of things, I am
a Jersey girl.
a Jersey girl.
You are.
I have to be.
You always will.
That's
be.
just how I am. And you know what? Sometimes I don't think I am. And then people are like, oh yeah, I can tell you're from Jersey. I'm like,
really?
yeah.
I don't think you're like the stereotypical.
No, I'm definitely not the
Yeah.
stereotypical Jersey girl. But some people say that they can tell by my like mannerisms. So like the way that I express my like hands
and
when
you're
I talk.
An Italian
Yeah.
from Jersey.
Yeah. So like I think, but sometimes people say that I have an accent too, which I don't think I do.
No, you don't have an accent at all.
Do you guys think I have an accent? Let me know.
I mean, maybe if it was someone from like the South, they would think you had an accent.
Yeah. Usually it's people from like Massachusetts or like
They have accents.
they have like Boston accent.
Kim Kardashian.
Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, so I don't want to hear. New Jersey gets such a bad rap, but I like New Jersey a lot.
I like New Jersey too. I think I'll probably eventually end up back there. I love Jersey.
Maybe we'll both be there together.
Hopefully, that would be nice. You
think
could be
you could be
a Jersey girl by proxy.
By proxy. Okay, my guess is that this is the haunt that is the 10,000 or 3,000 pounds of raw spirits.
300. First of all, 300.
3,000
pounds of spaghetti would be freaking crazy. No, I wish that there was more of a story to that, but I think we already shared what that ended up being.
Doomsday prepper.
Yes, exactly. No. So my haunt is unique in the fact that it's something that we've never done before. So it's not like a B&B, it's not a hotel.
We've done a ship.
It's not a battleship.
We've done a graveyard, right?
We sure have, yep, in New Hampshire.
We sure have.
So, do you have any guesses as to like what it might
It's
be?
not a restaurant.
It kind of like pushes the boundaries of what you think can be haunted.
Okay. Is it like a farm? No, we've done Pine Barrens.
Yeah.
So
we have done Pine Barrens.
It can't be a forest, can it?
Nope.
Could it be like an ocean, like a body of water?
That's
A lake or
you're kind of like on the right track.
Okay.
But no, it's not that.
Okay. What is it?
It's an inanimate object, I'll tell you that much.
Oh, it's an inanimate object. But not a house.
Yeah, and you use one every day, I would say.
Is it a bathroom?
No.
Is it a cell phone?
No.
Is it
Think bigger.
a computer?
No. Bigger. Bigger than a bathroom.
Bigger than a bathroom, a living room?
Bigger.
Bedroom?
Bigger.
Apartment?
Bigger.
A building?
Bigger.
A town?
Sort of.
A township?
A town has them in it.
Bruh. A town hall?
Okay, no. I'll put you out of your misery.
Okay,
It's a road.
oh, I'm so stupid. What?
More specifically, Clinton Road in Passaic County,
Okay,
New Jersey.
where is that?
I'm not sure, but it's in West Milford.
Okay.
And
That
it's
took me way too long.
no, this is actually because I looked up like haunted places in New Jersey because I
Yes.
knew I wanted to do this episode
Mhm.
and like surprise you with it, and you can just sit back and react. And I looked up like haunted places in New Jersey, and this Clinton Road came up, and I was like, well, first of all, I think I've heard of this before,
Okay.
and second of all, I was like, how haunted can a road really be?
Like, is it the physical road?
Yes. So,
Like, it's gravel.
well,
road?
I mean, it's like residents of the road,
Right.
and like, yeah, but it is the road. I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of, you'll see what I mean, but
This is the first haunted road.
This is the first haunted road. And if you listen to our H.H. Holmes episode, I told you that this one's going to be pretty paranormally heavy. That. So there's, it's a road, like, there's a little bit of history. There's a little bit of true crime in here too, which I think you're going to find really interesting because I was really interested in it. I was reading it last night and I was like, whoa.
Okay, wow.
So let's get right into it.
Let's dive in.
Okay, so Clinton Road, like I said, is located in Passaic County, New Jersey. It's named after the original Clinton settlement, and it's located where the settlement was located right where the road crosses the brook. So there's like a reservoir and then like a brook that runs off of the reservoir, and then there's a bridge over that brook. That, like, right there was where the original Clinton settlement is.
Okay.
Not super relevant to the rest of the story, the narrative. Construction of the road mainly took place in the 1700s, but it's obviously undergone a few repairs. That being said, not much maintenance has ever been done on the road, and it was unpaved until not too long ago.
Oh, wow.
So that's just to give you an idea.
Okay. Super tiny.
Exactly. It's a narrow 2-lane highway, so driving on it would give my mother a heart attack, with very light traffic, so I guess that's a little better, even at rush hour.
Okay.
So it's like a very not heavily traveled road, which I guess is why it wasn't paved. It connects 2 areas with very small populations, and it is surrounded by uninhabited wooded areas.
This sounds like the perfect recipe for a haunted road.
Yep, exactly. People may also avoid it, so that leads to like less traffic.
Yes.
Due to the urban legends that surround the road.
Okay.
So
I can see myself avoiding a road because of an urban legend.
I'm gonna say, like, I'm not sure I would ever drive on this road at night.
Yeah. Alone, yeah.
If I was like not seeking paranormal activity, like if I really was like not in the mood for it, I'd avoid this road.
I'm just gonna take the highway.
So it's known, fun fact, for having the longest traffic light wait in the United States.
In the United States?
Yep. It's reported that motorists wait up to 5 minutes at a single light.
Okay, I feel like, is it that? I feel like I would just like make sure no one was coming and go.
Don't like, implicate yourself.
Allegedly.
If you were someone else, maybe you would.
There's no way that there's a camera there. Like, if it's just been paved.
Not.
I wouldn't actually do that, but like, I wouldn't be on this road in the first place.
No, me either.
That's so scary.
So 5 minutes, which is crazy. At the double intersection of Clinton Road and Route 23, and it said that the like traffic signal was timed to give priority to Route 23 to like avoid rush hour traffic, because that's a more heavily traveled road.
Okay.
Don't ask me. I was just a transportation engineer. That's part of
whoa.
You know.
She knows her stuff.
Civil engineers, baby. We do it all.
But a girl who can do both.
Like I said, people might avoid it due to the urban legends that were there that surround this road. There's
what?
Oh, I'll tell you. There's a quote from as far back as 1905 that it was written that it was never advisable, quote unquote, to pass through these woods after dark, and it's because of witchcraft and robbers in the area.
Ooh.
But the surrounding areas, so the wooded areas, are said to be a favorite place for serial killers to dump the bodies of their victims.
Is that true?
Well, funny you should ask that this is one of the urban legends that is 100% rooted in fact.
Oh, it is? I think you're going to say that is 100% false.
Nope, it's 100% rooted in fact. So let me set the scene for you.
Okay.
May 14th, 1983.
We keep getting like
close to today's date. I know, which I kind of thought was funny when I was writing this out. Beautiful spring day.
Okay.
You're like, hey, I gotta get outside. Let me get some vitamin D. I've been cooped up. April showers. 80s. It's the 80s. There's nothing else to do.
Yeah, ain't that
And you're like, let's break out the old bicycle.
Okay.
Let's break it out. I'm gonna go for a ride. Oh, I'll turn down Clinton Road. Hey, what is that on the side of the road? Oh, well, I didn't bring my bird watching goggles, but I'm pretty sure that's a huge turkey vulture.
Oh no.
Ooh, and what's it going after? Is that a raccoon? Is it a deer?
It's probably not.
It's You guessed it, say it with me. A human body.
No.
So this was no roadkill. It was the body of a man named Daniel Deppner, and it was found with the tattered remains of a green garbage bag.
Oh my god, it's so sad.
It gets a little less sad.
Okay.
He was a criminal too.
Okay.
I don't know how bad, but he had a rap sheet.
Okay, like what kind of rap sheet? Though?
I don't think it was like murder or anything like that, but he wasn't a great person.
Okay.
Still sad, but he was examined and believed to have died from cyanide poisoning due to like some pink spots on his skin that are apparently pretty common with cyanide poisoning. His murderer, it was eventually traced back to Richard Kuklinski.
Okay.
And he has a nickname. Do you know who Richard Kuklinski is?
I feel like I recognize his name, but I'm not sure.
He was known as the Iceman.
Oh, did he use ice picks or something?
That's what I thought too.
Okay, no?
No.
I don't think I've heard of him.
I also thought he used ice picks. And then as I started to read the story, it came back to me a little bit. So he was arrested in 1986 for several murders. Okay. And just this is like a trigger warning for if you get squeamish for this kind of thing. There's not like a ton of gore, but I'm going to go over some of his murders. Okay. His first murder that we know of is George Malibrand. He was shot over a debt and then stuffed in a...
Oh, he put him in ice or something?
Listen.
Okay.
He stuffed his body into a 55-gallon oil drum in Jersey City. His partner in crime, Louis Mazgay, also disappeared, and he was found 2 years later. He had been shot in the head and then frozen. So he was killed in 1981 and dumped in 1983.
Oh, wow.
To avoid suspicion and to try to mess up the time of death. It was discovered that in 1982, Kuklinski had joined Deppner and another man, Gary Smith, in a car-stealing scam operation. Okay. So then Kuklinski, ironically, got nervous that he was working with other criminals. He thought they were going to betray him.
Okay.
So he poisoned Smith's cheeseburger with cyanide.
His cheeseburger?
His cheeseburger, which I kind of was like...
What even...
So, hold on.
It's too late once you taste it.
Yeah. So... Funny thing about cyanide is that it works almost instantaneously, but there is like a telltale sign of like when cyanide has been put in something, and it's like a very strong taste and smell of like bitter almonds.
Ew.
And I learned that from my favorite book, which is And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie.
Oh.
Great book.
Bitter almonds, okay. Noted.
So if you're ever like, hey, why does this smell like almonds? It's not supposed to smell like almonds. Don't eat it.
It's cyanide.
So he poisoned Smith's cheeseburger and he hid his body under the bed of a hotel. He wasn't found for 4 days, but the room had been rented out at least twice within those 4 days. Can you imagine being like, oh no, I dropped like being like... Our families are always like, check under the beds. Yeah, to make sure you didn't leave anything when you're checking out. Can you imagine, like, looking for a sock and pulling up the bed covers and being like, oh my god.
That's genuinely... I feel like I've heard of this guy, though.
The Iceman is like a very...
cheeseburger thing rung a bell in my head.
Okay. So, Kuklinski was caught after... like an ATF special agent ran a sting operation on him. Oh. So during this sting operation, the special agent Dominic Polifrone went undercover for 18 months to get close to Kuklinski. Wow. He went through family friends and inside channels and like convinced these family friends to help him get this Kuklinski guy. So he like went through this one friend who like then introduced Dominic as like a friend of his. So like this was like a very in-depth operation.
They wanted to get this guy.
So then to this friend now, Kuklinski's like, yeah, well, I've killed a few guys and I always like I freeze their bodies and then dump them later to avoid suspicion and like wait until like the crimes die down or whatever. And he's like, yeah, I prefer to use cyanide because why make a mess when you don't have to?
Ooh, okay.
So that's enough evidence to bring him in for a 1987 trial where he's presented with David Deppner's body and also Gary Smith.
Okay, which is the one that was found on the road?
Deppner.
Okay.
And Kuklinski's like, how do we know it was cyanide? Like, there's very little trace evidence of cyanide afterwards. But there was enough other evidence to prove him guilty, and he was sentenced to life in prison.
Okay.
He died in 2006, but not before confessing to the murder of Maskey, which was the partner in crime that went missing,
right,
and whose body was found frozen, or after it had been frozen. Yeah. And a cop named Peter Calabro. He had claimed to be involved in several mafia hits, including Jimmy Hoffa, which is like who was a very famous mafia like figure.
Okay.
He described the murder of 100 to 200 men in like extremely gruesome details.
100 to 200 men?
Yeah. So, but
he might have been there for it, not actually.
He might have been there for it. He might have not committed it, but this is met with like a fair amount of skepticism. They kind of think that he was like, oh, well, I'm in jail for life anyway. I may as well tell him a tale. Yeah. Right?
Be notorious.
Exactly. So definitely there are some real life figures that frequented these woods.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about some supernatural legends of the area.
Spooky already.
We're going to start off strong. Ghost Boy Bridge is the bridge that goes over Clinton Brook.
Is there a ghost boy?
There is a ghost boy. It's also known among locals as Dead Man's Curve.
Ooh.
So this bridge that goes over the road, it obviously has a yellow dotted line in the middle of it, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So legend has it, if you throw a penny over the side of the bridge into the water at midnight, it will be returned and you'll find it on the yellow line of the road the next morning. Cool. The ghost of a little boy who had either drowned in the reservoir, fallen off the bridge, or gotten hit by a car while he was on the bridge is said to be the reason that the coin returns.
Oh, so he like plays like cash or fetch or whatever.
Or like
fetch,
find and seek or I don't know.
Yeah.
Sometimes people have reported this is like rarer, but if a car is coming while someone's on the bridge and they're perceived to be like in any kind of danger, they'll feel a strong push out of the way while they're on the bridge.
Wow.
And
what a sweetheart.
It's him trying to save the visitor from the same grisly fate that he met, supposedly. Sometimes people claim to have seen an apparition of him sitting on the ground on the edge of the bridge, or when they throw a coin into the water, they'll see his image in the ripples.
Oh, wow.
Which is like...
This is like a sweet, sad
I know, it makes me sad. Anytime there's like a little boy ghost, for whatever reason, like that hits different.
I know.
Like...
When it's a kid, yeah.
And this is like... No, this is going to sound bad. Like, sometimes when it's like a little girl... For whatever reason, that's freakier to me.
The Shining, there's lots of movies where a little girl, like The Shining, I can't think of any others.
The Shining,
there's lots of movies where, like The Exorcist, it's always like a little girl.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's something a little bit scary about a little girl to me. I don't know.
Well, that's why, because it's in all these movies. It's like always
popular media.
Yeah.
So then there's also reports of ghost cars that drive on the bridge. And if you're not sure what I mean... Let me tell you.
Yeah, let me hear.
So there's a ghost Camaro that apparently drives sometimes on the bridge. Okay. It's said to be a residual haunting of a deadly crash in 1988 that resulted in the death of a young girl.
Wow, the 80s were... It's funny because like this is obviously such a...
What do you call it? Fast and loose? Fast and loose time?
Yeah. I don't know what it's called, but yes.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. And apparently it's supposed to like occur anytime someone mentions driving at night on this bridge.
Wow, okay.
There's also a phantom pickup truck, which
weird.
is kind of cool. So floating headlights, so there's no body of this vehicle, chase people on the road, and like people say that they'll hear like a horn honking, or they'll feel like, know, when like a car drives by really fast and you get that like kind of whoosh of the wind or whatever.
That's so scary.
Like you hear like a car go by, but there's no car. And then all of a sudden, like, the headlights and whatever else will disappear without a trace, like the car drives out.
Scary.
Isn't that kind of cool, though?
There's fun.
There's also the apparition of 2 park rangers, and they're often encountered on a hiking trail accessible by the road.
Okay.
They supposedly died on the job in 1939.
Wow, that's a long time ago.
Yeah. they're dressed in uniform, and people have varying encounters with them. Some people say that they're helpful and they help them find like their hiking destination. They help them get back to the road. And some say they just silently stare at them, like an open mouth stare.
Oh, I don't like that at all.
Yeah, which I hate.
You just gave me an open mouth
stare. I know, because I was trying to like think of like.
Oh, I don't like it. I don't like it.
I know that one freaks me out. Okay.
I would much rather than be helpful.
Let's bring it back up though. Okay.
Okay.
This part's kind of funny, and I like tried to do more research into this, and I really couldn't find too much.
Okay.
But there are some weird creatures that are said to be in and around the forest area. Okay. It's said to be home to hellhounds.
Oh, I've heard of those. Why have I heard of those?
They're like, hellhounds.
Big black dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then there's an albino wolf dog hybrid that locals have affectionately named Wolfie.
That's kind of cute. Not gonna lie.
I know. I kind of like. I would not mind running into Wolfie.
Yeah.
And then this is the theory here is that these next creatures escaped from the nearby jungle habitat that shut down in the 70s.
Bruh.
And survived in the forests of New Jersey and bred.
Oh.
Sometimes people claim that they've seen monkeys.
That's funny.
Which is like,
in the middle of New Jersey.
That's crazy. What would you do? What would you do? Because I would lose my mind.
I think that I genuinely, if I was driving and I saw them quickly, I would think that I
had imagined them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or that it had been like a weasel and my mind was tricking itself or something.
Or like a possum or something. Yeah. I don't know.
But if that's true, that's hilarious.
I know. I was monkeys. Like, what? The monkeys.
How do they survive?
I have no idea. Okay, so then we have two little like nearby haunts that are kind of like associated with the road. There's a druidic temple.
Oh. Which
is like a stone structure in the shape of like a cone.
Okay.
Yes. And it's the site of druidic rituals, supposedly.
Okay.
So what is a druid? You might ask yourself. Because
that's what I'm wondering. I don't really know. I've heard it before, but I don't know what it is.
It's a member of the Celtic priest class.
Okay.
But basically all you have to know is that they practiced human sacrifice.
Oh.
So not
all you have to know is this.
People are like, okay, this is like cursed ground, like, whatever, like animal sacrifice, human sacrifice.
I wonder how old the druid temple is.
It's not a druid temple.
Oh.
It's actually, that's like the local legend that surrounds it. It's actually an iron smelter that was built in 1826.
Oh.
So it's actually listed on the National Register of Historic Places as the Clinton Furnace. And it was put on the register in 1976, and it's now like kind of roped off and it's off limits because people were like,
still or no?
Well, no, as a furnace, no.
Okay.
It's not the druids though that you have to be careful of in this area.
Okay.
This like around that temple, quote unquote, is like apparently a pretty still active meeting place of the Ku Klux Klan.
In New Jersey, really?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. Well,
so stay away from there.
Like the scariest part so far.
Exactly. That's if you're gonna be like scared of any of these.
That's
the scary one. Yeah.
Oh my god. Ew.
I know. And then the last little part of this, Cross Castle.
Oh, a castle.
Yeah. Which is
Imagine
pretty cool.
being a princess of New Jersey.
That's me. That's what they call me. That was my nickname back in high school.
The Princess of New Jersey.
So Cross Castle was built in 1905 by Richard Cross, and he lived there with his family until he died in 1917, and then in 1919 the family sold it. Okay. And then it was destroyed by a fire and abandoned. But it's a popular hiking destination, and when I say a hiking destination, I mean like a popular destination for teens to go out and drink and party you know the vibes.
Yes.
But
a popular hiking destination.
It's a popular partying destination. Yeah. But weird things are like reported to have happened here for like teens that are partying, and people like even people that went there in the 80s still testify that like they will never go back there because people get like unexplained injuries.
Okay, that's very odd.
There's reports of people who are like totally healthy, like have no prior incidents and no incidents after this, having seizures around around the castle. Cuts and bruises will appear out of nowhere. Okay. And people will go into like a vision or a trance pretty often. Oh. And people will say like there's some larger rock formations around there, and some people say like their friends will be like attracted to the rock and like lay down, and then they won't be able to move.
Oh, that's really
which is really scary.
This is weird. Are we sure this wasn't some sort of druid something or other?
I think. Yeah, I don't know.
Something weird.
Something weird's going on here. While the castle still stood, there was like satanic graffiti, but the weird part about it is it was in like inaccessible areas of the castle.
So it's like, how do they get up there?
So like, yeah, exactly. Which I kind of feel like I always think that with graffiti, but like,
yeah. Even like when I'm driving on the highway, I'm like, how did they get all the way up there?
Like, how did they get onto that bridge?
Yeah.
Like,
it doesn't make any sense.
Ladder? Question mark? I don't know, but for whatever reason, like that's freaky to me. Like, why is the satanic graffiti like
in like places that you shouldn't be able to reach?
Exactly. But the castle was destroyed in 1988 because of they wanted to like keep people away from this thing. But the foundations and hiking trails to the site still exist. Okay. So people still go there and visit. I would not recommend going into these woods. Yeah. There's I got a lot of this information from Weird New Jersey, which you guys know is my favorite source. And like there's a lot of firsthand accounts of like coming face to face with like a KKK member in like full garb.
I really don't like that.
No one does. That is like genuinely so terrifying.
That's not Weird New Jersey. That's straight up terrifying freaking.
Get it off the map, New Jersey. Yeah. So I will end this episode on one piece of advice from anyone who's ever driven this road. Okay. They said, no matter where you are or what you see, do not stop and get out of your car.
Oh, this is so creepy.
I know.
It gives me
they
chills.
Say it's like, just don't do it. It's not worth it.
I would avoid that area at all costs.
I would too. I have no interest in driving on this road.
I'll take the long way if I have to.
Exactly. Sometimes there's one account that I took this quote from, and it was like sometimes people have reported seeing like either a live cow or a dead cow in the middle of the road right there. Okay. And they say like it could have been it could be there for like an animal sacrifice
or a trap.
Exactly. Well, that's exactly what it is. Or to get you in for like a human sacrifice.
Oh, I really don't like that. That haunt started off like a little bit light, and then it turned so really dark.
Yeah, but
that's one of the freakier
Tell
ones.
me, did you ever expect that from a road?
No, I didn't. I've heard of like the phantom cars before. I don't know where, but I've heard of like when there's like a car crash and then like people see like the phantom car.
Yeah.
But from a road, I mean, what a sordid history. It's like you said, it's got a lot of paranormal stuff. It's got the satanic stuff. It's got human evil.
Yeah. Mafia.
It's got the mafia. It's got the true crime. Like that's everything. It's wrapped up into one.
Knock it all out of the park.
I would not. Truly like this is one of the scarier ones to me because I don't like the demon stuff. Like freaks me out more than like anything else.
Like a apparition or whatever else. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, rather than like the Gettysburg like battlefields. Like that's like completely
Confederate
different.
Soldiers coming to get you.
Heck?
Yeah, I know.
That's a freaky one.
This one gave me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, I don't want to ever be in, what was it, West Milford, New Jersey?
Yeah, West Milford.
I'll steer clear of that
Passaic
area.
County.
Although I do want to look up that what is it called, Hunt Castle?
This is embarrassing that I can't think of it. I just said it. No. Cross Castle.
Cross Castle. I was way off. Yeah, I need to look at Cross Castle because I think it's probably really cool looking.
Probably. I mean, it doesn't exist anymore, so don't go out there hiking.
Oh, true.
You'll probably just find the foundations.
And maybe some leftover graffiti.
You know how it is. No, I would not.
Oh, wow, it was like a...
For safety's sake, go into these woods. Wait, let me see.
Well, this is... like part of it is still up.
Oh, that's neat.
But like, it's not really up. Like, they used to be huge.
Whoa, that's pretty cool.
Wow. But scary.
If I was a little bit braver, maybe someday I would go see it, but I think I'm There's something about the woods in New Jersey, man.
Yeah.
I don't fuck with them.
I am gonna steer clear. No pun intended, because steer clear.
I'm sorry, I don't know if that was supposed to be like a car. That's supposed to be like a car. Like, you know, like...
clear.
You know.
You should be an ASMRist. Guys, did that sound real?
I think it did.
Please
that might have been the phantom car. Who knows?
That was the...
Oh my god, there's the headlights. What if we just ended the episode right there? Alright. We will talk to you guys very soon. Next episode will for real be our first online episode.
It will be. We're very excited.
Well, stay off the roads.
Stay off the roads in New Jersey.
And stay out of the woods too.
Just
stay
inside.
Lock your doors.
Lock your doors and stay inside.
How about this? Stay in your lane.
I like that.
But
that is what we leave you with.
All right. See you guys next time.
Bye.